If you're looking for a decent carbon fibre tripod for wildlife photography at a great price, then stick around because I've just found one. So this is an Innorel RT90 carbon fibre tripod. Not the video head, that is a Manfrotto video head, completely separate from the tripod. But the tripod itself, I paid £329 on Amazon for. It is the matte green metallic version, which comes with the camouflage sleeves. And there's also a little shoulder pad for carrying the tripod. And there's a little weighted sack at the bottom, or a sack where you can put weights in there to try and weigh the tripod down. Tripod's available in two versions. One with a leveling bowl and one without. This is the leveling bowl, so you can quite easily level in the field your head using this and tighten up the bowl at the bottom. If you don't want to have the leveling bowl, the tripod is £20 cheaper. So that's £329 I spent for this particular version, and I think £309 without the leveling bowl. I just felt that for the £20 it was best to have everything pretty much. I guess aspire later on in my photography journey to owning a couple of, or at least one f4 600mm prime or something like that. And I'd like a tripod that will be able to handle the weight and the stress that those lenses will put on it. So in terms of this particular tripod, it's not a well-known name, but I'm happy to take a punt on it. It's also known in the market as the, I believe, Artcise AS90. And there are other sizes as well. I mean, this is the Innorel RT90. There's an RT80, which is smaller and different sizes and configurations as well. Do your research on that. I will leave a couple of links in the description, some other reviews on this particular tripod as well, if you want to go and check it out. There is also a link to the tripod on Amazon as well, if you want to have a look at it there. Anyway, I better start waffling and let's get on with the unboxing. Okay, so here's the box that came in. Now, in all honesty, I'm going to let you know that I have already unboxed this myself separately. I just wanted to check that everything was there before potentially having to send anything back. Everything was there, so it's fine. I've just put it back in the box as it was to show you. So the box, as you can see, is here. A bit of a generic box. It just says professional on the side, digital video tripod. And that's enough to tell me that basically I would assume that this is a tripod that is made for a number of different brands. I know that it's made for at least two brands, that is Innorel, the one that I've purchased, and also Artcise, I believe. I'll pop the name of it on the screen below because I probably haven't pronounced it correctly. Anyway, in the box itself, let's have a look at unboxing that. So we'll put that outer cardboard box to one side, and then inside you have this camo bag, which has a nice grab handle there, carrying handle there, and an adjustable shoulder strap here. It's quite a fair size. I'm going to open it up. Some pretty good padding inside here actually, so pretty pleased with the bag. I don't normally use tripod bags, to be fair. I may well keep this because I might be able to put potentially a couple of smaller ones in here as well if I want to carry multiple tripods to the location. So, before I do go into the main compartment, there is a zip compartment here on the edge, and in here contains, I think it's a manual, a warranty card. And you can see that, a warranty card, and some screw-in spiked feet and Allen keys as well. Inside, this, I think, straps to the bottom of the legs where you can put weights in the bottom of the tripods to weigh it down. At least I'm guessing that's what it's for. Adjustable bowl. Tripod itself. Which, as you can see, comes in a dull matte green with these Velcro removable straps, not straps, sleeves, camo sleeves, and if I open it up, I don't know if you can see this, but that just there, that's your carrying strap, I believe, for over your shoulder. Not sure how effective that's going to be, but I'll try it out and let you know. First thing to let you know about with this is it's a carbon fibre tripod, all right, but it is a big chunky boy, which is exactly what I wanted. So no disappointments there. Yes, the feet adjustments are made of metal twist locks. The one thing I will say is that you have to twist them around a few more times than you might do on other tripods, but you know, it does at first glance feel very sturdy. What else to let you know about? So hopefully you can see this on camera. A leveling ball on top, a little quick release to remove this plate, which is the standard plate, which you can then replace with this leveling ball inside to level things out quite quickly if you need to. Oh, there is one other item which I forgot to tell you about, which if you do ever order one of these like me, you may panic and think it's missing. It's not. Inside this bag, right on the end there, there's a little Velcro pouch where you've got the adapter for the leveling ball. Yes, I'm just going to measure now with a ruler the distance between the ground to the very bottom of this plate where it would touch the ground. There is a bit of a hook on the bottom, very sturdy hook if you do want to weight the tripod down underneath here, which protrudes a little further. But with an old ruler, I measure that at roughly 7 centimeters. So 7 centimeters off the ground that would sit, and that's as low as the tripod will go, but that's pretty much flat to the floor, which I wanted, and that's certainly comparable with the kind of level that I would be getting with a beanbag, probably, I'd say. In fact, I have a beanbag here. And I'd say, yeah, it's about comparable with a beanbag to the ground. Maybe a little bit lower. The tripod goes a little bit lower, but you obviously have to bear in mind you're probably going to put a head on top of there, whether that's a gimbal or a ball head or something. So, yeah, there you go. Pretty low. Right, so I'm now going to remove the standard plate and replace it with the leveling bowl, so you can see how that affects the ground level of the tripod. Incidentally, I can't see at this moment in time a different size thread adapter here. Most tripods would include an adapter to make it a smaller thread. If there is one somewhere tucked away, and I do find it, I will pop a little note on the bottom of the screen to let you know that one is included for different sizes. In fact, having said that, no, they're both the same. So bowl head will then go in here, presumably, lock that in, and then you can loosen the bowl head to level your tripod to make sure that everything's nice and level for shooting. But the thing is, with the bowl, if I just move this to one side, you'll see that sticks out on the bottom. So realistically, what that means, if I just tighten that bowl, is that that bowl, when it's on, means that the tripod cannot go fully flat. So you're then going to have to use the tripod, if you're using a leveling bowl, to one level higher. One level higher roughly looks like this. And in terms of size off the ground, well, it's 30, just a little bit over 30 centimeters. I'm going to call it 32 centimeters off the ground. So again, you can't have it both ways. You can either have a leveling bowl, in which case you can't go completely flat to the floor, or you can have you can go almost flat to the floor and take the leveling bowl out. But that's not an issue for me, to be honest with you. I think that's low enough certainly for the price point, I'm happy with that. I'll mention this anyway. They claim to have an 8-year warranty, but realistically, I'm not sure how easy they're going to be able to get hold of, or even if they're still going to be around in 8 years' time. I wouldn't purchase this tripod based upon the 8-year warranty claim. I don't know, I've just got a feeling that it might be a bit tricky to have that warranty honoured after 8 years if you ever need to, but I could be completely wrong and being unfair here, but just a feeling. Another thing I do like is that this hook is solid metal, not plastic, and it's screwed in nice and tight, so it's not going to come off anytime soon. If you do want to hang quite a bit of weight from it, it should be just the job. Finally, just something else to note, there's a screw hole here, or threaded hole, where presumably you can mount additional extension rigs or recording or lighting equipment if you need to. So yeah, I mean, first impressions in here are pretty good. These are so chunky, these legs, that I think what I'm going to do is I'll measure the diameter of them without the camo sleeve, and at its thickest point I'll pop it on screen for you to give you an idea of how thick those legs are. So this particular tripod is at the moment a bit overkill in terms of the equipment that I'm currently using, but I do want to future-proof myself for the future, because obviously I do plan to at one point own, I hope, a large f4 prime, for example, of some sort, like a 600mm or whatever. And when that day comes, I'm pretty confident that this will be able to hold it. At the moment, as with all these things, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. It's all very well me here unboxing this at home and being quite impressed with it when it's not actually being put through its paces or to use. So I'm going to take this this tripod out into the field and then see what pictures I can capture with it. Right, well, I've come back to Salisbury Plain to test out this tripod. It is early January, so very good time for shorted owls to be around. I know there are plenty around here. I've seen some here myself this year, and there's a small chance that during this review we might be able to get a few photos of one, but I'm a little early, so not expecting them out until towards the end of the day, but I wanted to get here ready to sort of set out the tripod, see what it was like, and get some firm thoughts on it. So the first thing to say about this particular tripod is the bag itself. Now, I've chosen to take the bag today just for demonstration purposes, and you'll see that there is a gimbal on here, and crucially, the gimbal is too large to fit in the bag with the tripod itself. So if you are planning on putting a gimbal on this tripod, then that's something to bear in mind if you want to use the bag. Personally, I don't normally use the bag, so it wouldn't bother me at all. However, if you are using the Manfrotto video head tripod, which I've just purchased, this will fit on the tripod itself inside the bag. All you need to do is unscrew the direction handle, pop that in the bag, and everything fits in there nice and neatly. So I'm going to go and get it out of the bag now. Bring that back to one side, and here's the tripod with a gimbal head on. The reason why I've chosen this old gimbal head is because I'm actually used to this particular bit of equipment. What I don't want to do is take out a brand new tripod with a brand new video head and then give you my thoughts on the tripod. I don't really think it's a sort of a proper true comparison or review. I'm used to this gimbal, I know how it performs, I know its limitations, I know what it's good at, what it's bad at. So I'm popping this on the tripod, and I'll make do today. I have got the leveling ball on me to assist leveling the tripod, which hopefully will work well. And of course, there's the bubble indicator on the top of the tripod itself. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there we go, just there, there's a bubble indicator where my finger is. So without further ado, let's put this up, let's get set up, and then see what wildlife turns up, and I'll give you my thoughts along the way. Right, well, I'm some distance away, apologies for that, but I wanted to let you see me setting it up in full, and also I needed to find a bit of level enough ground where I could rest the camera on to film this. So let's get the tripod put up. Right, well, I'm not on even ground, unfortunately, so one of these legs here is ever so slightly shorter than the other two here, which are fully extended. But you can see, just by way of example of the height, I am myself 6'1", which I believe is 186 centimetres, still thereabouts, give or take 1 or 2, either way. So I'll give you an idea of the actual height of the tripod compared to myself. So very, very tall. This is obviously too tall for today. I have used the leveling ball here just to adjust the level of the gimbal, which I must say straight away feels a lot more tight and with less flex, because these particular legs are obviously a lot more sturdy. But what I'm going to do is now lower the tripod, because obviously this is too high for what I want. I want it just over the line of this fence here. So I'm going to do that now. And what I like to do when I lower tripods is have the smallest legs, i.e. these ones, in here first. That way I've got the thicker, sturdier legs that it's resting on. That said, with this particular tripod, I will say that these are such chunky, sturdy legs that if you had problems bending down, I think probably loosening these top ones here would also be absolutely fine if you needed to do that. And then that way you don't need to bend down as much as you would do otherwise. So first impressions, nice and sturdy. So all good so far. Right, so that's the tripod set up on a gimbal. Pretty good fluid, free movement there. Very happy with that. It will just go wherever I leave it. So all good, ready to shoot. Right, so the eagle-eyed amongst you will probably notice that I have now lowered the tripod a little bit lower, because I just wanted it closer to the fence line, just to make my silhouette a little bit less obvious. But one thing I have noticed, a great advantage for this particular tripod straight away, is the fact that these legs here are so chunky. I just adjust them from the top. I just find it's a lot easier to adjust it from here rather than mess around at the very, very bottom down there by the feet. There is, however, one thing that I don't like about it, if I'm honest with you, and I mentioned it in my unboxing. You have to twist these a lot more than you would do on an ordinary on a lot of other tripods, and it is a little bit annoying, if I'm honest with you. But you know, you've got to compare the price point of this particular tripod with others of this similar kind of spec. So I guess, you know, for a few £100, are you prepared to put up with that little annoyance? I think I am, but nevertheless I will flag that it is annoying. So just bear that in mind. So some other things I do like about this particular tripod is the actual colour here. So matte green. I was a little bit worried from the picture that it might be a metallic shiny green, but it's not. It's a matte green. The only thing really missing for me for this to make it almost ideal would be to have these in green as well, and green coloured screws here and a green coloured lever would be ideal. But you know, it's not a deal breaker. At least we've got the main section of the tripod in green there. So this here, not connected to the tripod currently, is the other base for the tripod. It's the one that isn't the leveling ball, and just a flat base with a hook on the end of it here. What I do like about this is the fact that these are so quick to swap in and out. You could literally have one head on here, it could be maybe a ball head or a video head or whatever, and a different head on the leveling ball here, as I've got, and then just pull this lever here, press a button, pull it out, swap it out with a whole new different head straight away, nice and easy. So that way it's a good way of being able to change tripod heads without faffing around too much in the field if you need to. So just here is the little, I don't know what you'd call it, pouch. Looks like a waterproof lining, I'd suggest. It's velcroed on. I've chosen to velcro it here. I'm not sure exactly what you would use it for. It does feel like you can put quite a bit of weight on it. I'm pressing down quite hard. If you did want to use that to weigh down the tripod, I'm sure that would be quite successful at doing that. I, however, I'm going to use it for a completely different purpose. So the purpose I'm using it for is to store my food, sandwiches off the floor, off the ground, and my flask off the ground, just to take the cold ground off the edge of the flask. Right, well, that's pretty much for the moment all I can say about the tripod, I guess. I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up around here, get some food out, in for a bit of a wait, I think, and fingers crossed, let's hope some wildlife turns up. Right, well, it's been pretty quiet so far, to be honest with you. At least the sun's put out an appearance, which is good. We have just had a buzzard land into a tree in the distance. It's way too far out for any close-up photography, unfortunately. It's being hassled by crows. In fact, it's just flown. Let's see what I can get. Missed it. It flew behind some trees quite quickly. Right, so we're off the mark with a buzzard. I think it was the same one I just spoke about. Flew back over in this direction. It actually flew over the top of me, although it was still quite high. So I need to crop it a little bit to get a full frame picture for you. I'll put it up on screen for you now. Short it out then. Coming closer. So I'm really impressed with the stability of the tripod when I lean on it to track a bird. The owls, luckily, are fairly slow flying birds, so they're a lot easier than a lot of other species, but this is proving to be very sturdy, and it's much easier to track a bird when you can put your weight on the camera to steady it without any flex in the legs. So I'm very pleased with it thus far. The light's fading fast. I'm going to need the full frame R6, which is currently filming me right now, to continue with photography. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I will wrap up at the end with my final thoughts on this particular tripod. Right then, true to my word, I am testing out this particular shoulder strap. And whilst this particular walk to camera is staged, you have my word, I have hiked probably a little over half a mile, and maybe a bit more than that even, with this over my shoulder, in fact, over my rucksack, over my shoulder, exactly as you see now. And that's over some pretty rough, uneven ground. Has it made a difference? Is it useful? Well, yes it is, actually, to be fair, and I'm a little bit surprised in saying that. That said, I do have a very light setup, so we're talking a mirrorless camera. Canon R6 is on here at the moment with a 100 to 500mm lens. If I was hiking with a heavier lens, like an f4 prime, for example, I'd probably be a little bit worried about relying on this particular shoulder strap, because it is just held on by Velcro, okay? So you might want to look at other alternatives. Another thing that I did find quite useful actually was the pouch. You might not see it because it's so dark here, but the little pouch here, it only attaches as far as the top leg, bottom of the top leg, and that was very useful for keeping bits of food in there, binoculars, anything that you want to access quickly without having to go into your bag all the time. And certainly if your tripod's fully extended and you want to put some things in there that are easy access, without, it's certainly going to save you bending down to the ground. So if you've got accessibility issues, maybe bad knees, bad back, etc., having this pouch is quite useful. Pouches, I believe, can be purchased separately for other tripods. So, if you already have a tripod, then I'm sure you can pick up a pouch. So, in summary, then, this particular shoulder strap, I would not choose to buy this particular tripod because it came with this shoulder strap. Just think of it as a bonus. If you want a shoulder strap, especially for perhaps bigger, heavier lenses, it's probably worth investigating the other options that I know are out there. I haven't used any of them myself, so I'm not in a position to comment on them. But certainly in terms of the equipment that I've got at the moment that I'm using, this is useful. Will it be useful in the future for heavier lenses as I acquire them? I don't know. I suspect not. But that said, taking away the shoulder strap, the tripod itself, I think, is excellent. Very well built, very, very sturdy. I can't complain, really. I really can't for the price that I paid. Well, those are my final thoughts. As you can see, I've lost the light, and I hope that you found that useful.